Hi, my name is Julian and I am a percussionist. And a percussionist is someone who plays instruments that you can hit with a stick, play or hit with a mallet, or an instrument that maybe makes sounds from being shook, or so many different things. Almost anything can be a percussion instrument and falls into the percussion family, even a piano. Now, one of my favorite things of being a percussionist is actually that there's so much variety. Other instruments maybe just play the violin, or they just play the piano, or the bass, or the saxophone. But as a percussionist, we play hundreds of instruments. And for me, I love that because I get to travel the world through these instruments. I get to learn about the music from Cuba. I get to learn about the music and the people and the cultures from Brazil and the Middle East. And all over the world, even throughout the United States, there's so many different instruments and cultures. Now, to start with, the first instrument that I played for you on that first piece, which was just an improvisation. And an improvisation is just when you make music on the spot. I just let what came out of me today, how I was feeling today, I let that come out through this instrument, which is called a hand-pan or a hand drum, which was developed in Switzerland. And it's such a beautiful instrument. It looks a bit like a flying saucer, but it has these notes all around it, all around. And you just tap these circles on here with your finger or your thumb, and you get this lovely resonant sound, a sound that just rings and really relaxes me, and I hope it relaxed you. Now let's keep going here. An instrument that I really love is called bata drums, B-A-T-A. And this is the iya, which actually stands for mother. It's the mother drum. And there's two sides, a low side and a high side, a slap side. And these are really beautiful. And there's actually two other drums that it plays with a lot, and it makes this beautiful, wonderful, energetic music. Again, this is from Cuba. Ooh, they're heavy. This is called a doumbek or a darbuka, and these are from North Africa and the Middle East. Really, really fun. Let's keep going. One of my favorite instruments, our family within percussion, is tambourine. This is one of my favorite types of tambourine called a pandeiro, which is from Brazil. It's like a little drum set. And also, we cannot forget about the cowbell, which there are many different types of cowbell, but this is a double cowbell called an agogo, the agogo bells from Brazil as well. Really fun. And now we're gonna go actually back to Cuba because I love Cuban music. These are called maracas. They're like shakers, but when you put the two together, they're maracas, and they play a lot with salsa music or dance music like this. We also have the güiro, which will play along with maracas. They're like the brother or sister of the maracas. It's called a güiro, and originally it would have been made out of a gourd. And it sounds like this. Now, because percussion instruments are made a lot from animal skin to vegetables like the gourd, there's another gourd. This is called a chekere. Now, the ones I have are made of plastic so that they're weather resistant, so that the weather doesn't dry them out and they break. I have plastic ones, but this is called a chekere, and it would have originally also been made from a gourd. And this one's really fun because it actually has a note in it. You can hit your wrist on the bottom and it actually plays a note, which is really fun, but it also just shakes back and forth with these beautiful beads. know what? I almost forgot, but I'm actually sitting on a percussion instrument too. This is called a cajon from Peru, or some people say from Cuba. Historians like to fight about this. More from the cajon later, maybe. Love that. And also what I love about the percussion family of instruments is that you can actually travel to the ocean. You can maybe go anywhere in the world through percussion. Now that we've explored instruments from around the world, can you think of any percussion instruments? Can you think of any instruments that you can hit or strike with a mallet or a beater of any kind? Yeah, nice. Next, we're going to talk about an instrument that actually brings together a lot of percussion instruments, and that instrument is called the drum set. Here we have the drum set, which is a single instrument that's actually made up of a bunch of percussion instruments. So first we have on the lowest part of the drum set, the bass drum. And it has a foot pedal, so my foot is actually going like this to make that sound. And then we have the snare drum. And then we have the hi-hat, which can be closed like this or open. Also done with my foot. I go like this. And then we have the floor tom. And then we have a cymbal with a bell. Now, because I don't want to play too loud and blow out the sound, I have towels over the drums, and I'm gonna play with bundle sticks, which are a little softer. I play a lot with fiddles and singers in small rooms and acoustic settings, and as a percussionist we play instruments that can get really loud, but to play with other people we have to find ways to speak and play at a volume that is respectful to the people around us. Almost like if you were to talk too loud, you have to learn to keep your voice at a nice volume for the people around you. Another reason why I love the drum set is because you can play so many grooves and beats and rhythms and dance music. And one of my favorite dance artists is Prince, and a drummer who played with Prince for many, many years is Sheila E. And so this is a little groove inspired by them and Sheila E, and hopefully it makes you dance in wherever you're at. And now we're going to explore the percussion instrument of the Konkan. And these are a wood shell with an animal skin for the head, which you hit with your hand, your bare hand. You have a low tone, a bass tone, an open tone that's in the middle, and then you have a slap that's really high. We have two drums here today, a lower drum and a higher drum. Now, I'm going to play an improvisation for you all. A congero, person who plays the conga drums. One of my favorites is Mongo Santamaria from Cuba. He played folkloric music from Cuba. He played popular music from Cuba, and he also played popular music from the United States, jazz. He helped create Latin jazz with the conga drums. Now, today, I'm gonna have you follow along to this improvisation with me, and you can clap the beat, you can tap it on your leg, you can even move your foot with me. I have bells here on my feet, and I'm gonna tap the beat throughout. And what's really fun with percussion is we can keep the beat in one limb, and we can use our other limbs to improvise and create music. and they can play with each other. So at some point you might see me playing right with the drum, or with the bells, and other times completely different. So try to tap along with the bells here. See what improvisation. Were you able to follow along? Were you able to keep track of the beat? Well, you got one more shot. As promised, I'm gonna play the cajon. We're gonna explore this instrument even more. What's so fun about this instrument called the cajon, one, it's a chair, and two, it's just like a drum set. It's similar to a drum set, where you have a kick drum and a snare, and it's like all those percussion instruments that make up the drum set into one spot. And then I can use my hands instead of sticks, like on the conga drum. And when I'm playing the cajon, I can bring together the conga and the drum set. Now again, you're gonna have another chance to tap along here on the, with the bells on my foot, and see if you can tap along. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you're able to follow along on the beat to that cajon solo. Now, say you don't have a drum set, or congas, or a cajon, or these things. Are there items around the house that maybe aren't thought of as instruments, but they actually could be? Maybe like spices, or any containers that hold rice or beans, or maybe a pot that you cook with, or maybe a bowl for baking, or putting salad in, or maybe other big pots, maybe even a bowl, maybe even a coffee grinder. What things around your house can you think of that could be used as instruments, as percussion instruments? Now, before I play a little bit on these, I made sure that I have soft wooden sticks, because I don't want to break anything. I don't want to hurt anything, and I hope if you were to try this at home, be careful and use, metal is a lot harder and harder to break or hurt, and make sure you ask your parents or whoever owns what you're borrowing to try out to play some percussion music. Make sure they know what you're gonna do. So that aside, we're gonna make some music here using items from the kitchen and around the house. So here we go. Now for something completely different. This instrument is called a vibraphone, and this is a mallet percussion instrument. You'll see me using these mallets, which have yarn at the top, and they give kind of a soft sound. And the vibraphone is very similar to a piano. These right here would be the white keys, and here would be the black keys on the piano. So you can play scales and chords. I love to write music on this instrument. And some of the people who inspired me to write music are composers like Hilda Guðnadóttir, who's from Iceland, and she writes music for film. And I love writing music for visuals, for dancers, for film. And so this is a piece called Absent that I wrote when I was very stressed in Boston, as it can get very stressful in this city. And this is a piece that calmed me down and continues to calm me down. I hope calms you down. So please enjoy this piece, Absent. thank you so much for joining me today in this video to explore percussion from around the world, to explore the world through percussion, to hear my improvisations, to tap along with me on the improvisations, as well as to hear some of my original music and the artists that influenced me. Thank you again to Shelter Music Boston. I hope you continue to stay safe, stay healthy, and keep up the great work.